What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing awesome today. I wanted to do a quick video for you. I am streaming this in my company's page. I'm also going to share this with a few other folks on my other pages so you guys can have success in your business. Every day, Monday through Friday, as you know, let me just make sure we're live. Every day, Monday through Friday, you guys know that I do a power hour, right? And in that power hour, we do 15 minutes of prospecting, 15 minutes of follow-up, 15 minutes of marketing, and 15 minutes of engaging and expanding and growing your network. And it helps create activity in your funnel. Your organic funnel is what I teach people, okay? But during this power hour today specifically, I talked a lot about inviting. And I have some people that I feel like need to hear this message. So I wanted to share this message with you to help you get through this barrier, because ultimately we all sign up in a side hustle, whether you're getting, an affiliate, like in affiliate marketing, right? What we're doing. And our intent is to go make some extra money, right? That's what our intent is, to make some extra money. But if you don't do the activities to make extra money, it's like a dress rehearsal. It's not going to work for you, okay? And so what I want to help you understand today is putting yourself in the right mindset to get out of the way. So I want you to write this down. You are the messenger. You are not the message. You are the messenger, not the message, okay? And so your job is just collecting decisions and seeing if people are open. You got to see if they're open first to taking a look at what we have, okay? That is the most important thing you got to do. You never want to pitch out a position. It drives me nuts. I got people texting me on a weekly basis and in my DMs, always trying to pitch me on something, and they never even ask if I'm open. It's like trying to set me on a date when I'm in a happy marriage. It just doesn't make sense, right? And so you have to qualify and see if they're open, all right? Now, here's what I want you to understand, all right, is if you get yourself out of the way and not make it about you, you're going to have a greater time and a lot more fun doing our business, all right? Because a lot of people say, well, I'm afraid to invite someone to take a look at what we have. Well, it's because you're getting in the way and you think that you have to lead that person, and you don't. This is a different animal. This is a different game. And I really want you to understand this. This is a big deal with what you have your hands on. If you have the right company and the right product and the right compensation plan and the right leader, which we do with what we do, you can leverage that system, and the system will then make you profitable. All right. So I had a conversation with somebody after my power hour that I do with my team, as you guys know, and I'm doing coaching calls all day long, 14 coaching calls today. And the energy is interesting because I'm fired up today because I want people to have so much success. It drives me nuts. That's how much, I'm that passionate about having people have success with what they do. I want you to win. All right. But I had an individual say, I'm just scared to ask people if they're open. And I said, okay, let's change the mindset for a minute. And I want you to really hear this. Okay. I want you to act as if for a minute while you're inviting, you are not a recruiter. Your job is not to recruit. All right. So you can breathe. Your job's not to recruit. Your job is to be my executive assistant. Drop a 1 if you heard what I said. And I know a lot of you are going to catch the replay on this, but drop a 1 if you understand what I just said so far. Okay. I want to make sure that you're understanding this. All right. So you are not a recruiter. I want you to put on your hat as you're an executive assistant for me or for your leader, whoever you work with. and we're going to play a mind game with yourself. All right. All right. That's what I want you to understand. All right. And so what if you got hired at a job to be my executive assistant, and the task of the day is I need you to reach out to these 20 people and ask them questions and qualify them. And then you're just going to qualify them with a video presentation, and then you're going to put me in a group chat so I can qualify and make sure there's somebody that we want to work with. That's a different approach. So let me give you an example. If I said to you, Mary, I need you to reach out to these 20 people and just qualify them. See, I want you to know that you're in charge of international expansion for our company, for your company, for this, with what we do. All right, so that's the first thing. So like when you're brand new, I teach you, write 3 lists of people that live outside of the United States. List number 1. List number 2, people that live in the United States but were born or from another country. And then the third list is everybody else. And that everybody else list is asking who they know that either A, lives outside of the United States or lives in the U.S. from another country. And you tie it into a story in your mind and in your invitation. So that way you're literally avoiding rejection. You're not going to get rejection on this invite if you do this the right way. And that's what most people are afraid of. They're afraid of rejection. Drop a 2 if you've been afraid of a rejection before. And it's okay to be vulnerable, by the way. I was afraid. Do you know, I'll share this story. I shared this story with somebody this morning. A lot of you see me today, but you didn't see me 27 years ago. You didn't see me 27 years ago. Okay? 27 years ago, I was an 18-year-old kid that just started a business that was scared out of his mind. He had no business being in business. I barely graduated high school. I have a terrible comprehension. I struggled at paying attention. I knew I didn't want a job. And I started a business. Just think about that. The odds were so against me. I grew up in a single parent home. My father passed away a month before my 8th birthday. I had low self-esteem. I was not the cool kid in school. I was just the average Joe in school. All right. So just know, and then I'm starting a business and I'm talking to people about entrepreneurship. So that was 27 years ago. I'm not the same today as I was back then. I told this story earlier. I remember doing follow-up calls for my mentor, my leader back then, before his interviews. We used to do these interviews back in the day where we would run ads on in the newspaper, and we would bring people through an office and interview them for our industry. It was hilarious. And he said, DJ, can you call all these people this morning and just confirm their appointments? This is how crazy I was. I would go through it, and I was nervous to do this, but this is how non-business and non-professional I was. And this should put it in perspective for you. One person I called, all right, we know Jesus is Jesus, right? Well, I didn't know that. So when I called to confirm the appointment that morning, I said, hey, Jesus, this is DJ with XYZ Company. I'm calling on behalf of Lars Larson, my mentor, for your interview today. And I called the guy Jesus instead of Jesus. You say some pretty silly things when you're nervous, when you're uncomfortable. How many of you have been uncomfortable? Say me in the comments before. But you have to go through suck to get where you want to go. Now, am I better today? Yeah, I hope so. 27 years of doing something, you better be better. So I wanted to humble myself and put it into perspective for you that I'm just like you, just been doing it a lot longer. So I want you to act as my executive assistant or your leader's executive assistant when you're doing invitations. But all you're doing is you're doing discovery. Like, think about this. So if I'm reaching out to people, like if I was the executive assistant, I would be shooting a text to somebody and say, hey, when do you have a few minutes to connect? It's important. Need to chat with you about something. And I go send that to 10 people and say, hey, I just took a new position with a gentleman who's in charge of international expansion for a company. Not sure if you would be open to what I do or what we do or not, but I'm curious if you know anybody that would love to make some extra money promoting and sharing an app through social media. Being in charge of international expansion, yes, we are growing here in the U.S., but do you know anybody that lives outside of the United States, or do you know anybody that lives in the U.S. from outside of the United States? Do you see the difference there? Because you're not asking if they're open. You're saying, I don't even know if you're open. I don't even know what you do. So I'm curious, who do you know? So when you push them aside, and I call it the indirect approach, okay? That's the bottom line, is you're just out there collecting. So what if you were hired and you were my executive assistant and your job was to reach out to 20 people a day and have that conversation? See, what you're not understanding is you're not trying to recruit that person. See, that person's not the one I even want. The one I want is, who do you know that lives international? Because I want to make money today, tomorrow, and yesterday, all in the same day, and have people all around the world in my business. But if we're just farming in our hometown, in our own zip code, in our own community, in our own, in our own area, then you're only making money when you're awake. Drop it 2 if you want to make money today, tomorrow, and yesterday, all at the same time. You guys realize that's possible with this opportunity. But if you have to have fun with this business and get out of your own way, get out of your own, you have to get out of your own way, man. It's like, I get why some people are nervous and scared because you've never done it before. What will people think? It's like, who cares? Who cares what people think? They're going to think it no matter what. They're living a nightmare and you're building your dream. They're living a nightmare and you're building your dream. And if you don't go chase your dream, you're going to continue to build somebody else's. And all I know is we got one shot here. We got one shot to go be great, do great, and help other people break the chains to freedom, right? That's literally what it's all about. And so it's all about psychology, and it's all about changing your verbiage, okay? And it's all about outlook and perspective. Very important. So when I go into a scenario, it's all about perspective. Like if I reach out to my buddy Greg, let's say, or it doesn't matter who, but I could literally reach out and say, hey, Greg, I know you're crushing real estate. I don't even think you'd be open to what I do, but I'm actually partnered with a guy who's in charge of international expansion, and I'm reaching out through my network to see if you know anybody outside of the United States or that lives here but's from another country. We're aggressively expanding in multiple countries. Yeah, we are here in the U.S. as well, but primarily my main focus is outside of the U.S. Do you know anybody? No? Awesome. Can I ask you one more question? Because you got a pretty big Facebook following, don't you? Yeah. Would you be willing to put a post on your wall if I give you the post? All you got to do is copy and paste it. Literally copy and paste it and tag me in it. And it's just going to ask, it's going to say, hey, is anybody on my Facebook here that lives outside of the United States or from another country? Comment me below. Now, think about that. What if you had your followers on Facebook, your friends on Facebook, do that post and tag you in it, and then just give them, for their time, give them a $100 hotel savings card. Give them a discount on their first travel through you. If you want one of those, I'll help you get it set up, okay? But why not do that? So you can take a no into a fishing line. Drop a 5 if you just had an aha moment. Think about how many followers and friends you have on Facebook. Some of you have 100, some of you have 500, some of you have 2,000. Can you imagine if you reached out to 100% of these people and had this conversation, and everybody that said no, you got them to do a what's called a referral post on their wall for you. And it's just asking who's on here that's from outside of the United States or in the US from another country. Drop me in here. And you're tagged in the post. And every time somebody tags it or likes it, you're getting a notification. And those are all people you're looking for. And even if they're in the US and they're not from another country, but they like the comment, don't you think you could reach out and start a conversation with them? Hey, thanks for the love on Mary's post. Are you from another country or were you just being supportive? Oh, just being supportive. Right on. What do you do? Are you open? Right? Like, think about this, guys. Be a human. Here's what I challenge you to do. Talk to people how you would want to be talked to. Nobody likes to be sold. Everybody loves to buy. But whoever has the most conversations wins. See, there's no script on being a human. There's none. There's no script on being a human. There's just got to be human. That's it. You just got to be human. You getting some value out of this? Let me know in the comments if you're getting some value. Hit that, smash that heart button if you got some value out of this. Share this with your teams, guys. Share this with your affiliates. Go back and listen to this. Today,